You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philskate.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Brandy.
Money's coming to me.
The economy is strong. Stay with it. The economy is coming out of recession. It's been an extremely extraordinary expansion predicated upon Federal Reserve policies, and those are not going to change anytime soon.
Strong, coming out of recession. We've never had a real recession. That's what we needed. We needed that in 2008. Recessions are good. Yes, they're painful, but they're good because it forces everyone to tighten the belt, especially Congress. There's nothing wrong with recessions. When you do a recession, yes, it's painful, but when you come out of that recession, you are powerful. Soon you have jobs coming in before they settle down. You have jobs 300,000 a month, 350,000 a month. That's what recessions do. They get rid of all that heavy weight, all that debt. We talked about the debt the other day. Powell, he just lied to us. He told us that they're going to raise rates. You can't raise rates when you have that kind of debt. We have just too much debt. Well, we found that out, right? Because the following Monday, the stock market went right back up. The 500 points it lost on Friday when he announced that he was going to cut rates. They know he can't cut rates. Now they're talking about, everyone's starting to talk about, are we going to have a housing crash? Of course we're going to have a housing crash. When you have, I don't care if it's stocks or houses, any asset that goes up 30, 40, 50%, boom, like that. It's crazy. You always pay for it. You always pay for it. Somewhere down the road, you pay for it. Inflation. They keep telling us it's temporary. Temporary inflation. Were they nuts? Well, guess what? Today, somebody from the Fed finally woke up. The Atlanta Fed came out and said, well, we think it may be a year now. Maybe a year before the inflation quiets down. What are you, nuts? You know, from the first time you cut a rate, 25 basis points, you don't even feel it. It takes 18 months to get through the system. 18 months. When you raise a rate or cut a rate, you do not feel it. It takes that long. 18 months. It's like turning to Queen Mary. It's not like turning a speedboat. Are you nuts? This is crazy. Economy is not what it's what they're telling us. All that it's cracked up to be. It's not. Why do you think you're seeing the market, the reaction to the market, like it's confused? What you really see going up are just the big tech stocks, because all of a sudden they're saying, nothing's going to change. They're going to keep printing money and keeping interest rates low. That's good for big tech. They love low interest rates and high inflation, and they know the inflation is not temporary. Unbelievable. The Federal Reserve is incorrect. They're very seldom correct in their decision making. Really. Check it out yourself. All these guys with their fancy hairdos and their fancy sport coats and jackets and suits, these geniuses, they're not so smart. They have no common sense. These guys on the Federal Reserve, these banksters, they need to have some common sense. They should add to their board a person who's a truck driver. That's right, or a drywaller. Yeah, real people. Before they make decisions, ask him what's going on out there. First, we're told inflation's transitory. Then they tell us, well, we may have to extend it now. Takes a long time to bring down inflation. You have to move dramatically. Do you remember Volcker, what he had to do in the 70s? Interest rates went up to 20%. He had to break the back of inflation. Once you have inflation, it just doesn't go away. Once you let inflation out, it is a vicious thing. Inflation is vicious. They don't tell you that. These fake business news networks, they don't tell you the truth about inflation. It's vicious. It's cruel. Almost as cruel as the withholding tax, which they shouldn't be taking out of your pay. We should have a whole talk about that one day. You want to improve the economy? Stop with the withholding tax, for God's sakes. But the Federal Reserve very seldom makes good decisions. Takes a long time for inflation to come down. Here's the problem, and this is what they don't want to tell you about inflation and where we are. One of the causes of inflation, we have too many dollars, about $315 billion a quarter, chasing too few goods. That's right, we're not producing enough goods. Because the government continues to pay people to stay home instead of going back to work and manufacture more goods. So we got $313 billion in money, like a slush fund, think of it that way, and there's few goods. So you got all this money going around, and nobody's producing. What are you, nuts? They are printing $128 billion a month to purchase treasuries to keep rates low. That's not inflationary. How are you going to stop that inflation? With 1 quarter point cut? What are you, nuts? See, when you print all this money and you got an extra $313 billion sloshing around out there every quarter, and you aren't producing enough goods, how are you going to fix that? Just a simple, we're going to cut rates a quarter? It doesn't work like that. We have, as I say, $125 billion a month we're printing to purchase treasuries to keep rates low. We're printing another $225 billion a month to monetize debt. That's all inflationary. They're printing money and they're going and they're buying the debt from corporations to keep them alive. You tell me that's not inflationary? You think one cut's going to stop that? One of the Fed's first mistakes is forgetting when they decide to tighten, meaning raise rates, it takes such a long time for that thing to show up. Nobody on the board even thinks of it. They're stupid people. They don't think of it. These geniuses. Unbelievable. You would think, wouldn't you, that when the board sits and meets and they're going to be raising rates, wouldn't they think that the market would drop 500 points last Friday? Any dope sitting on the board, if the decision was, I'm going to go out and announce we're going to start raising rates in 2022, wouldn't they know the market's going to drop 500 points? I guess not. All this Fed tightening you're talking about, not going to have much of an impact. And guess who knew that? All the big institutions, the big investors, they knew that. Why do you think that on Monday when everybody came back, everything went back up again? 500 points open in the morning. Remember, investors place little credibility on the Fed. Anytime the Fed forecasts, they don't have credibility. Are you kidding? Powell credibility? This is crazy. Because you go back, look it up, all their past inflation forecasts, all their models, they've sucked at it. They're so bad. They're never right. So the big investors don't take them serious. That's the problem we have. They don't. So we got a situation that the inflation is going to get much worse. It's not going to get better. But we can make money with good inflation. I'll tell you how when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night. You don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
If you want to be creative and be a musician or whatever, you can leave your work.
Remember that? When Pelosi said to all these folks who are working just to have insurance, just to have health insurance, what are you doing that for? Go home. Learn how to play the piano. Be an artist. Why are you working? We got you covered with Obamacare. You don't need to work. See, there's the problem. They're taking incentive away from everybody. The incentive to work. Can you imagine taking the incentive to work away from people? I mean, that's the basis of our whole economy. Work. Productivity. That's what made this country great. And you have the government telling people not to work. You see the new rule they came out with housing? Now they're so afraid that the housing market's going to crash. They're worried about all these people who were in forbearance. There's about 2 million people left in forbearance with it. If you have a mortgage and you haven't been making your payments, right, you went to forbearance. Now they're worried they can't come out of forbearance. Now usually, right, when you're late on your payment, you get all kinds of notes and notices, and they call you. No more. No. They're going to be friendly this time. She had Pocahontas saying now they can't foreclose on you. That's right. If you into forbearance and you still can't make it when the forbearance ends, they want you to sit with the bankers can't foreclose. They got to send you a letter. Then they got to sit with you and chat, have a nice chat, and see if they can find you some sort of program they can put you in so you can make your payment. Well, wait a minute. Shouldn't they have been doing that during the forbearance? That's how stupid they are. So they're going to wait till the forbearance closes. The program's down now, right, when it ends. I think it's in July. Then they're going to start talking with the folks? Don't you think they should have been talking with folks while they're in forbearance? That's how stupid these people are. Unbelievable. But we've got inflation, I'll tell you that. And it's going to get worse, not better. So that means there's an opportunity, a great opportunity. Now, when there's higher inflation, there's certain stocks you go to. Big tech, semiconductors, growth stocks like Tesla, industrials, materials, consumer staples, utilities. But there's a problem now. If you go to one of those groups, it may no longer be a good group, even though that group is supposed to work when there's higher inflation and yields are low. That's right. It used to be when you had higher interest rates and low inflation, you start buying the banks. Telecom, healthcare. But today, they can go up when you got higher inflation. That's right. See, years ago, when you had lower inflation, you went to those stocks that did well with lower inflation. When you had higher inflation, you went to those stocks that did well with higher inflation. And they always worked. They always worked. But not today. Not today, they don't. Because those yields been manipulated. We no longer have a free market. That's right. No longer do we have a free market. So that means the bond market is being controlled now. It's certainly not by the Fed, I'll tell you that. So today, when you buy a stock, or they tell you on the fake Business News Network, boy, you better get in this group, get in that. Don't listen to them. Do not listen to them. You're going to lose money. It doesn't work anymore. You got to find the stocks that where the money is going. It's that simple. Where is the money going? So, give you an example. So, the big tech stocks, they are going up until they made the announcement, right? Until they made the announcement that they're going to raise rates. And then the market dropped 500 points. But then came Monday, went back up. You've never seen that happen before. So now they switched out, they first switched out of the techs, they're going to go to the banks. And then they got out of the banks and they went back to the tech. And now they're telling you to buy the banks again. The banks are getting high. Buy the banks. And you're seeing the banks go up. And people are going to get killed. If you put up the ETF for the basket of banks, XLF, you see how those banks have been going up now since June 18th. Every day they've been going up. But thank God, I don't pay attention to these people. I'm not buying them. We're still in big tech. You can't have the bank stocks going up the same time the big tech stocks are going up. That doesn't make sense. How does that make sense? Because big tech stocks go up, that means there's low yields and high inflation. Bank stocks don't like that, but the bank stocks are going up now. They're telling you to buy the bank stocks. You see what they're doing? So what you got to do is you got to make sure before you buy any stock that you're following the money. What we're seeing is the bank stocks are going up, but we see a dangerous divergence. The trend of money is going down. There you go. There it is, right there. Follow the trend of money. Money has three trends: up, down, or sideways. So it doesn't matter what the hell the yields are doing. It doesn't matter what inflation is doing, because it just doesn't matter anymore, because this market is manipulated. So the big institutions are in control. And guess what stocks they always want to drive? The big tech stocks, because that's where everybody makes their money. When I say everybody, I'm talking about the big inflation. I'm talking about the senators. I'm talking about all Congress. I'm talking about the guys on Wall Street. Even the local barber made his fortune in tech stocks. Everybody since 2013 making a fortune. What do you think, they're just going to break that habit and not buy tech stocks and they're going to go buy Colgate? No. But when do you get out of these stocks? That's the key. We'll talk about that when we get back. Join my gang, free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night. You don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
PhilsGang.com is not the only way you can stay in touch with what we do throughout the day. With today's social media, you can stay up to date with Phil's Gang current events. You can find Phil's Gang on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and more. Phil's Gang Radio Show is broadcast live Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, Periscope, and, of course, YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Go to philsgang.com and find our social media buttons at the top left-hand corner of the site. philsgang.com and Phil's Gang Social Media, keeping you connected.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Remember, every day at 2 o'clock, we post if you remember, we post our portfolio of stocks. And we tell our members every day what to do with each one of those stocks. They don't have to guess. This way here, they'll always be right. Whatever stock we have in our portfolio, we'll tell them whether to add to their position or take profits or maybe get out totally or get ready to sell it short. They always have guidance. They're not there alone. They don't have to call somebody and say, what should I do? What should I do? And how many times have you done that when the market starts to correct? You want to be in a position to take advantage of this out of control Federal Reserve. They control nothing. They're a bunch of gangsters. They don't know what they're doing. They're never correct. There's only one thing correct when you are buying and selling a stock: the money. If a lot of money is going to Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola is going to go up. But remember, the big institutions didn't buy Coca-Cola unless the yields, or unless we had a situation that people were looking for defensive stocks. If they thought the market was going to go down, right, they would go buy Coca-Cola. But that's out the door now. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You always hear them, play the defensive stocks. Play the defensive stocks. Diversify your portfolio. You think the market's going to go down? Buy the defensive stocks. Coke, Clorox. What are you, nuts? It used to be true. We used to know what stocks to go in. When inflation was higher, inflation was no more. But we have something better now. Now that they mucked up the yields, they even mucked up price discovery. You and I would discover the price at which a stock would be purchased because you and I bid against each other. Oh, that's gone too. You and I don't determine the price of a stock anymore. There's no more price discovery. They screwed everything up. Ever since 2008, with all this printing of money and keeping interest rates too low for too long. But guess what? There's good news. It's even easier now to buy stocks than it ever was. You don't have to take hours and go through financial statements, see what the free cash flow is, what the PE ratio is. Who cares? You don't need that anymore. And that's why I designed my charting system to follow the money. And we're right. We're always right. Try it for 10 days. See if I'm making this up. See if I'm making this up. So right now, as I told you, you watch. They're saying, buy the banks. If anybody bought these bank stocks between June 18th and today, you're going to lose money. You're going to lose money. Mark that down. Phil Grandy said if you bought a bank stock between June 18th and today, you're going to lose money. Because the bank stocks right now, first of all, the only thing that's going to make the bank stocks go up if they buy their own stocks, do more stock buybacks. But they've done so many stock buybacks, the banks, it's not even exciting investors anymore. Where's the money going? Most all the money continues to be in the tech area. So for God's sakes, just take my chart, do it for 10 days, and just follow the color code. If it's green, you have two things on the chart you watch. You watch the color code, and you watch the trend. So if the stock is going up, but the trend is going down, it means there's not enough money going into your stock to make it go up. It's not going to continue. It's going to fail. Does your broker call you and tell you that? No, your broker's never called and told you that. Hey, your stocks are going up, but they're going to fail. I think we should unload some of them. Or, oh, you know, your portfolio, the 401k, your mutual fund, it's going to fail. The mutual fund that's inside your 401k is going to fail. Does he ever call and tell you that? Of course not. But we have a chart for that too. You can use that one for 30 days free. Check it out. So if you have a 401k or you just have a mutual fund outside the 401k and you're following mutual funds, for God's sakes, get a chart. The chart tells you. You get an alert. That's the only way you're going to make money in the market anymore. It's not following the noise, but following the money. It's that simple. It's that simple. So, inflation, let me tell you, inflation is going to be here for quite a while because you just can't take inflation and bury it or turn it around. Doesn't work like that. Didn't anyone at the Fed meeting say, hey, wait a minute. How are the manufacturers going to increase supply when at the same time our federal government is sending an extra $300 a week unemployment check to match the $300 a week they're getting from the state? Now, like I said, it's very simple. We have too much money and too few goods being produced. That's the problem. So what you got to do is get more goods produced. Right? Wouldn't that make sense? If I'm on the board, I'd say, hey, we got to produce more goods. But didn't anyone think to say, well, wait a minute, how are we going to produce more goods if they're getting a state unemployment check, plus we send them a bonus, $1,200 or $1,400, and we're going to send them, if they're getting $300 a week, we're going to send them from the Federal Reserve, federal government, another $300. So they get $600. Did anybody on that board think, if we do that, how are we going to get rid of inflation? We got too much money chasing too few goods. We need to produce more goods, but how are we going to do that? Who's going to go to work? That's how stupid these people are. On top of that, the CEOs or owners of these corporations that manufacture the goods we need, they're also receiving money from the federal government. When the CEO gets up in the morning, he doesn't go right to work, he goes golf. Why? Because he's getting money. He doesn't have to produce. He's getting big fat checks. The company's getting $4 or $5 million, and they're not producing goods. They don't have to. They're getting a check, just like the people. There's no incentive for the CEO of the company to produce goods. Never mind, there's no incentive for people to come back to work for him. There's no incentive. And the consequences that occur for keeping rates too low for too long, there's big consequences. The big one is when the market starts crashing, you can't lower rates because you have no ammo to lower them. So too are there consequences when you keep paying people to stay at home and not to go to work, not to produce, because we need those goods. Those consequences are called inflation. So don't listen that the inflation is temporary. Make sure you're following the stocks that do well with inflation, but even then, don't fall for them. Just watch them, but make sure you follow it with a chart that tells you, is there enough money going in? So if you're going to buy a tech stock, you're going to buy, let's say, Facebook, put it on the chart. Because what if the trend is going down and the stock's going up? It's not going to last. You got to know that. No longer is it good enough to say, oh, we have low yields, we have high inflation, I'm going to buy Facebook. That's not good enough. It's not going to get you there. The chart will get you there because the chart will always tell you the direction of the money. What are the big investors doing? Follow. They're smarter than the Fed. The Fed's a bunch of dopes. Those are political appointments. There's 11 Fed members. 11 Fed members. That's it. And they picked them politically from every area of the country. They're not added to the board because they're smart. It's who they raise money for. We'll be back right after this break. Join my gang, Phil's gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the .com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market is still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang. Free for 10 days. Get your color-coded chart. Tells you when to buy, when to add, when to sell, when to run like hell, and best, when to start selling short. So easy to do. For people who are in stocks, stop listening to these people who are telling you, you got to buy this group, buy that group, because of what the yields are doing, or high inflation or low inflation. does not work anymore. Because the market is manipulated. We know that. It's called financial engineering since 2008. We can't even do price discovery anymore. We know that. But what you can do, okay, is discover the money flow. Which way is the money going? So any stock you decide to get in, just follow the money. Here, I'll give you an example. V&Q is an ETF for REITs. Now, we did very well on this. Went up 19% return. 19% return on V&Q. That's since March 25th. And we got out of the stock. Some of us got out around June 8th, June 7th, something in that area there. Now, I'm not saying and I'm not suggesting every gang member made 19%. Some people get in later after it turns green. Some get in early. Some wait till it's 3/4 of the way. Everybody's got their own way of trading. It doesn't matter if you get 5% of the let's say 20%, or you get 2%, or you get 10%, 15%, or the whole thing. Doesn't matter. As long as you get a piece of it every month. If you just get 5% every month, that's all that matters. Like a little piece of cheese, just get the middle of that cheese. It's 5% a month. How can you not get 5% a month when you're following the trend of the money? When they come on, these guys on CNBC and Fox, and tell you all this garbage, what's the PE ratio and why you got to buy it? Because the company's now opened up 3 more districts and did this and did that, and the CEO's a genius. And who cares? I could care less about the CEO. So I'm sitting here with V&Q, got our profits, and whether a gang member got 10%, 20%, or 3%, doesn't matter. Now it just turned red. Now it turned red. So see, it's telling us that the big institutions are now taking their money out. But it hasn't yet, the trend. We can look at the trend. I'm watching it right now. Okay? The trend is still not good enough for me to turn around and sell that stock short. Yes, money is coming out, but not enough. But when enough of that money is coming out, it will notify me. Just like what we do for mutual funds. Same thing with mutual funds. We have what we call a mutual fund tracker. I know a lot of you in mutual funds, especially you poor souls that have a 401k with a mutual fund stuck in it, one of the biggest scams ever. 401ks, they're a scam. They're a skimming operation. But at least now we designed a chart that tells you, that alerts you to your 401k, to your mutual fund that's inside your 401k, or just if you have a mutual fund outside of 401k. It alerts you as to the success or failure of that fund, so you know how to act. And it does it in advance, so it tells you, gives you a warning. It's failing, do something. Does anybody call you now? Any of the mutual funds you're in, or your 401k, does anybody call you now and say, we better make an adjustment here? And don't listen to them when they say, we better, come on down, we'll make some adjustments because, we got to balance your portfolio in case there's a crash. We got to diversify. Diversify? If you hear that word, run like hell. Because all that's going to happen, you're going to diversify into the poorhouse. Ridiculous. Look, the Fed's not going to ever do what's right. Because the Fed doesn't answer to the people. Even with prices going up, even with sugar going up 40%, coffee going up 45%, they are not going to respond to you being grumpy. They're not. Because why? Because they don't work for you. Powell doesn't work for you. Powell works for 200 people, the richest people in the world, who control the Federal Reserve, who make all of their money, and their job is to take and make sure the top 1 percentile of this country do well. And they're going to always make sure that they're not going to raise rates or lower rates when they should. They're always going to think first about those guys. They're not going to get them grumpy. You think they're going to react to you and say, boy, the prices are too high. You better do something. No, so what they'll do? They'll just tap the pedal a little bit on inflation. They'll just tap, a couple taps, instead of jamming it, the metal to the pedal. I mean, just jam it. They won't do that. They won't take that pedal and jam it right to the metal. They won't. Because they don't want to spoil the party. So look, why don't you just try for 10 days my color-coded chart. Follow along every day at 2 o'clock. We post it for you. It's archived. And we show you the portfolio of our stocks, tell you exactly what to do based on the money flow, based on the color-coded chart on its trend. Never mind high inflation, low inflation, yields, no yields. Don't worry about that. And for you poor folks that are in 401ks or in a mutual fund, for God's sakes, check out the mutual fund tracker for 30 days. It's free for 30 days, for God's sakes. Do you remember the feeling when you lost money with the dot-com crash? Do you remember the feeling when you thought you were rich in the housing market and you lost that money? We're right back there again. The Federal Reserve is not there to help you. Nobody in the Senate is there to help you. Nobody in Congress is there to help you. You think Biden's going to help you? Are you kidding? Do you think the Republicans are going to help you? They don't. That's not their job. Their job is to make money. It's always about money. It's always about them and their friends. It's about their money bundlers. I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. It's about bundling money. Take care of the boys that have the money so I can get reelected. That's what it's all about. How many times do we see a stock market? All of a sudden it goes down 250 points during the day. Boom! An hour later, it's back up. You go, how the hell that happen? It's called equity index futures. The plunger team. The president and his team. They got to take care of the wealthy. They got to take care of the money bundlers. They got to get that stock back up. So what do? They purchase equity index futures. All they do is just pretend for a moment the stock's at $10. $10. Here we are on 6/29/2021. $10. So what we're going to do is purchase that stock in advance. We're going to do it in September. And we're going to pay $25 for it. So we put an order out in the future. A lot of orders. That puts a base in, and the stock can't go down. Temporarily, but it stops that 250-point drop, turns around, goes back up 250 points. Did you ever notice the market closes down 300-400 points at 4 o'clock? Next morning, it's up. Positive 300-400 points. Same thing. Same thing. Right before a market, your stock is dropping, on my color-coded chart, if it closes on the low, it's telling you to stay in. Because tomorrow morning, if you're buying, it tells you to stay in because you know the next morning it's going to go higher. You can find that out by looking at the chart. Or if you're selling it short, it's 2 minutes to 4 before the market closes, and you're selling short making money. By looking at the chart, you know what? I think I'm going to stay in. Because tomorrow morning, it's going to open lower. That's called our Pro 3 chart. Shows you how to do that. Look, whether you take the 10-day free trial on our color-coded Pro 2 or the 30-day free trial on our tracker, mutual fund tracker, you're going to make the decision. I'm not. You're going to sell yourself. I'm not going to sell you. But for God's sakes, you got to do something. You know, the one thing that really, I just want to get in your head that nobody is out there that's going to care. The Fed doesn't care. They control interest rates. They make the market move up and down. And they're going to make sure whatever decision they make is not for you. It's for the top 1 percentile. So you want to make money in the market consistently? Then you got to track that money. Track it. And we have the only 2 charts in the world that does that. Because they're both patented. They're free for 10 days and 30 days. Check it out. And then if you make money, please help St. Jude. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to